In ancient times, there was an old woman in Devonshire, a kind and godly woman. One day, I don't know why, waking up at midnight, she imagined that morning had come, got out of bed and dressed. The old woman took 2 baskets and a cloak and went to the neighboring town for provisions. Going out into the meadow outside the village, she heard a loud dog barking, and at the same moment a hare jumped out of the bushes. He jumped on a roadside stone, raised his muzzle to the old woman, moved his mouth and looked at her, as if saying, "Take me." The old woman grabbed the hare by the ears, put it in one of the baskets, closed it with a lid and walked on. But soon in a deserted clearing overgrown with thick purple heather, she saw a huge black horse rushing towards her at full speed. Freezing with fear, the old woman noticed that this extraordinary horse had no head and that an ugly rider with a black face, with a cow's leg and sharp horns protruding from the sides of his little jockey cap, was sitting on it. From under the mighty hooves of the extraordinary horse sparkling sparks flew, and a flock of huge dogs rushed after the terrible hunter. They all wagged their tails, the ends of which burned like fire. On top of that, there was a strong smell of sulfur in the air. The old woman immediately realized that the hunter and his terrible dogs came straight from the underworld. Nevertheless, having approached the old woman, the rider politely raised his cap and asked the frightened woman if she had seen where the gray hare galloped. Probably, the old woman decided that it was not a sin to deceive the eternal liar and deceiver, and boldly answered him that she had not seen any hare. The hunter turned his horse and rode away, not suspecting deception. When the terrible pack of dogs rushing after him disappeared from sight and the smell of sulfur disappeared in the air, the old woman felt that the hare began to stir uneasily in the basket. She lifted the lid, the animal jumped to the ground and, to the great amazement of the old woman, turned into a young beauty in a white dress. "A kind woman," she said, "I am amazed at your courage and deeply grateful to you for your kindness. You saved me from such torment that you should not even know about. Do not be afraid of what I tell you. I have not lived on earth for a long time, and as a punishment for one great crime I was condemned to eternally flee from persecution. I knew that I could only get rid of my tormentors by getting behind them. Now, thanks to you, I have succeeded, and as a reward for your kindness, I promise you that all your chickens will lay 2 eggs daily all year round, and that all your cows will produce 2 buckets of milk a day all year round. Pray for me, beware of the devil, and go to church. Remember that mine and your enemy will be angry when you learn how you outsmarted him, and know that he can appear on earth in all forms, except for the lamb and the dove." The white lady fell silent and disappeared, melted like smoke. The old woman got rich. She became even more God-fearing than before, because she was afraid of the unclean spirit she had deceived.